Have Your Say, Hobsons Bay is a series of stories and experiences of people who live, work and play within the municipality of Hobsons Bay. Let's hear how their lives were changed because of COVID-19.
Have your say, Hobsons Bay.
So I'm a mental health practitioner and an arts therapist, and I'm a sole trader, and so my business is I do psychosocial support in the community with a couple of clients, and then the rest of the week is filled with either an art group for people who have mental health challenges and or disability. And I have one-on-one art therapy clients, and they range from children to mature adults.
Nice. So the first question is, how has COVID-19/lockdown affected the business, and in what ways was it affected?
So my business, not my clients, I'll just answer for my business.
Mm-hmm.
So I've only been in business, ironically, I decided I was ready to go into private practice about 2 years ago, about 3 or 4 months before the first wave of COVID hit in Melbourne. And it was really quite intense, actually. There were a lot of people who were very scared and a lot of services that stopped. So as a small business, that put in a lot of pressure on me, basically because I like to help people, but it was, there were a lot of people were very scared, and so there was lots of phone calls. It just put a lot of pressure on me to try and run a business and wrap my head around what it was to run a business and to be able to support lots of people. Yeah. It was quite taxing, actually.
Yeah, especially with this whole situation that's come up.
Yeah,
it's incredible. It's a whole lot more taxing.
Yeah, it's it feels like we've been in lockdown, even though we've come in and out. It feels like we've been in lockdown for like a year and a half.
It's over 200 days at this point.
Yeah,
sort of thing. The next question was, what would you say have been some of your positive and negative experiences with COVID? I know one would probably take more precedence over the other.
So just for running a business or for me personally, do you think?
Well, either or.
So I guess with the COVID, my main focus that year was about, because all my income was coming from whatever I generated. So that was a little bit scary. I also, because I had to learn how to manage my time and how many clients I could actually service. And I actually kind of really did burn myself out. So I feel like in some ways, some of the COVID restrictions have been a little bit of a blessing for me in some ways, because I've been able to kind of take a step back and reassess things and reassess what people need and how I can be of best service without completely getting drained. So I think for me, because I've still been able to work, that's been huge, I think, for me, not just being able to stay at home all the time. For somebody who works creatively with people, it did give me an opportunity to feed back my own creative well in a way as well.
Yeah. And sort of like replenish that energy that you've been giving out to help people in a way.
Exactly. Yeah. And because everything was so heightened, like people were very scared, because a lot of my clients, they may go to, community groups for their socialization. They've got no families. They don't really have, like mainstream friendships. And they might go to soup vans for food. And so when all that stopped, there was a lot of fear. And I kind of went into I went into rescue mode.
The
So
fix-it mode.
I went into rescue mode and did a lot more support work than
Yeah.
really art therapy work. And so, and then it was crazy. It was really crazy.
Yeah, it was an extremely, especially the start when no one really knew what was going on. It was a very heightened sense of, like as you said, fear of like, because we didn't know what was going on.
No,
And,
like what's happening,
It's
what
a lot of support. Sorry to cut you off. A lot of support services, like yours in general, and like there were others that were just cut off. It was just like, you can't come in, we can't go out, that's it. And it's like, well, what do we do?
Yeah, exactly. And there was a silver lining in all of that for me as well. I do feel like the planet and everybody is spinning off its axis. We need to stop and reflect and think about what we're doing to the planet as well. Like like we just, I think everybody's just go, 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 go. And I think it's good to, in some ways, it's making people rethink about the way that they do things and how they want to live as well.
Yeah, it gave people a chance to stop.
Yeah,
like I know with me, I can't say for anyone else, but I know with me, I was fairly go, 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 not really thinking about anything else. And then lockdown hit, my world came crashing down, and I was like, okay, now I need to stop. I need to slow down.
Yeah.
The next one, the next question was, how has COVID-19 affected your physical or mental health? Were you able to cope with lockdown? I don't know if you'd like to answer that personally or as an organization, if you can think of a way. But yeah, that was the next one.
My mental health and my health, I do think that it was kind of bittersweet. I think my mental health was starting to, I think I was getting compassion fatigued. And so I think that my mental health was getting, that's how it was being affected, because I'd outpoured way too much. I'd also got a child at home, and we had to kind of wrap our head around him at school and everything. And my physical well-being, I've always been pretty mindful of that. So I feel like that was okay. I feel like, as going on lots of walks, doing yoga, doing the things that I preach to other people. So
yeah. The next question was, were you able to stay motivated and positive? I get that can be hard with like being stuck at home.
I think it depends on your constitution in a way. I never get bored. I'm not a person that gets bored. I always find things to do. So I found, like, even with COVID, even with the restrictions, I just found, I could potter at home all day long, go for walks and play board games or make art or play in the garden, or I actually was totally fine.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I mean, that's good that you can find like solace in the garden, because the garden is one of my most hated places. I'm just like, nope. Every time I'm in the garden, I'm like, nope, see you later. I am a suburban kid. Give me cement. It's fine. How were you able to do so? The next one says, how were you able to do so? Is it like, was it I don't know how you could explain it. Like, were you like that even before lockdown? Like, just wouldn't get bored?
Okay. Yeah. So I think it's, I guess, I'm already a person that has, I have a lot of personal interests and things like that. So I never have enough time to do all my personal interests. So I found that because I couldn't kind of gallivant around, and I didn't have, some of the commitments of your everyday life were minimized, that gave me more time. And it
Yeah.
actually did make me think a little bit more creatively as well, like about the way you connect with people, doing things over Zoom and, just, finding other ways to connect. Yeah.
Did you develop any new routines or habits in lockdown, like healthy habits with like dealing with being stuck at home all the time?
I think I know Melbourne a little bit different now by foot. I think just finding more of a routine. Like I know so many parks in Melbourne now. It's so I guess just trying to stay close to nature for me did help a lot. I think that routine, it was different for me because I could go to work. I think if I was left at home and I couldn't go to work, I would have found that really, really difficult. But because I could, and I think my outlet was being able to go for walks, and in particular in nature. So that's
they're always good. Like having the going for walks.
Yeah.
That's always good. Like especially with the vitamin D is healthy for your skin. So,
exactly right. We're going to be on a whole state of vitamin D deficient. And that's really true because my son, I have a 16-year-old at home, and he's, it's difficult for him, and it's difficult. Like we had to get him a blood test not long ago because he's so tired. He's sleeping all the time, and the doctor said his vitamin D was really, really low. So I think that a lot of people's vitamin D will be very low at this time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Especially because of the whole pandemic that's going on. Like everyone's stuck inside and they're like, all I can see is my four walls. That's all I can do. I'm not allowed outside.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I step a foot outside, Dan Andrew's going to be like, get back home. And I think that was it. The rest of the questions are just like, is there anything else you want to add that was positive or negative about the COVID experience that you had or are having?
I think that, at the beginning, I think it was good to see people band together and want to think about the whole world, kind of like, I think that was really good as a positive. I think it's unfortunate on a negative that, I hope that we don't kind of get divided. The states don't get divided in Australia, and there's no competition against people about, kind of the whole vaccine thing too, I guess. Yeah. That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's those questions done. That's all of my questions. Thank you for answering those.
You're welcome.